Oh, okay. I guess I can start the show now. Oh man. Oh, like I was saying before, I quit the other stream. I was gonna talk about emotional intelligence and how I need to start early in childhood, how you talk to your kids and everything like that. And I still might get into it, but I'm gonna have an open panel right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't feel like talking about that. You know why I don't feel like talking about that? Because you ain't gonna listen. I'm being perfectly honest, man. You're not gonna listen. And the reason I say you're not gonna listen is this right here. You can't tell nobody how to raise their kids. You can't tell nobody how to raise their kids because everybody got their own parenting skills and all that right there. But the truth of the matter is, the way you parent your kids is the reason why they act the way they act. Is the reason they act the way they act as adolescents, the reason they act the way they act as teenagers, the reason they act the way they act as adults. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, man, all y'all do is sit around and throw a phone up in their face, an iPad in their face, a joystick in their hand, whatever the case may be, and tell them get out your face. Go do this, that, and the third. Don't bother me. Cause mama tired, daddy tired. Yeah, 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 yeah. Whatever, 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 whatever. You ain't giving them no type of love, no type of emotion, no type of feeling, no type of nothing. You just give them something to play with so they won't bother you. So they won't ask you for nothing. So they stay out your face. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth of the matter right there. That's the truth of the matter right there. Y'all don't understand this damn thing. When I was growing up, and I told this story so many times, is that when I got in trouble, I used to read books. That was my punishment for getting in trouble. But even when I wasn't in trouble, my mama, by being a school teacher, she read to me and my brother all the time. She put something in our face to make us read because one of the things she didn't want us to do was to grow up and be another stereotype. She didn't want us to be the little dumb niggas. She didn't want that for her sons. Even though we were doing some of the most outlandish things possible as teenagers, you know what I'm saying, in our time in the 90s growing up, my mom didn't want us to be no dummies. And my mom also had an open line of communication between her and me and my brother, even my partners. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing that we couldn't say to my mama. And I think that's why, and I think that's why my emotional intelligence is what it is. It's like I understand people. I understand where people coming from. And I also understand how to use that against people. I know that sound bad, but it's the truth. I learned it a long time how to recognize anger and recognize sadness and recognize happiness and recognize this, recognize that, and how to play the empathy and sympathy roles. I learned that a long time ago, and I use it to my advantage. I ain't gonna lie to you. I use it to my advantage. I use it to get what I wanted sometimes. I use it to manipulate people. I pulled on the heartstrings. I knew how to make people feel a certain type of way in order to get what I wanted. It's not good. It's not good, but it is what it is. I learned this a long time ago. And see where we at now in 2024. We in the era of iPad kids. Y'all not trying to tell these kids nothing. Y'all give them an iPad. Y'all give them a tablet. Y'all give them a phone. Y'all look on YouTube and have all these different apps for them to play with. And you ain't teaching them nothing. You ain't showing them nothing. You ain't helping them develop no emotional intelligence. None whatsoever. Excuse me. When they get mad, what you do? Either you want to beat them or you gonna kowtow and let them have their way. And I see more parents letting their kids have their way. I see more parents spoiling their kids, just giving them what they want. Ain't teaching them nothing. Ain't teaching them proper respect for elders. Ain't teaching them how to act up around in public and none of that. Y'all not teaching these kids anything. Nothing. Ain't teaching these kids nothing. And then got the nerve to get mad at teachers, got the nerve to get mad at other concerned adults and all that right there about how your kids operate in public. You can't tell my child nothing. You can't tell my son this. You can't tell my daughter that. But lady, sir, your child is a problem. And you know your child is a problem. What's going on, Zyrex? You know your child a problem. That's the thing. You know your child messed off in the head. You know your child ain't right. And can't wait to send them to school. Can't wait for them to get out your face. Can't wait for them to get out your hair. Send these, send these good, send these folks to school with problems, with issues. Don't know how to talk to nobody. Don't know how to deal with nobody. Are you gonna come up in 10 minutes? That's what's up. Like I said, it's an open panel. Like I hated that I started off the other line not too long ago the way I did. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't feeling it. I don't know why. I just like it wasn't there. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't into it. So I had to reset myself so I can get into it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, players fuck up. Players fuck up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, man, I get tired of this whole back and forth about kids being kids. And I'm sitting here like, if I know what me and my partners went through as teenagers, as young boys, and all that, and how our parents raised us, I can sit here and hold their feet to the fire and say, man, y'all raised us to be assholes. Y'all raised us to be dickheads. That's why we move how we move now, because we was raised by women, single mothers, to be dickheads. We dickheads. So I know if my grown ass a dickhead and my brother a dickhead and my partner's dickheads, I know this. The common denominator is single mamas. Now I have nothing against single mamas. I love my mama to the day she died. I love my partner's mamas. They ain't did nothing to tell me what right, but they raised us to be dickheads. Rod, what's going on? My bad, Rod, for canceling that other line like this. As soon as you had said something, I was like, man, fuck this shit. I was like, fuck this shit, Rod. I wasn't feeling it when you said something the first time. My bad. No hard feelings. I mean, play like I said, play it for good. But yeah, just like Zyre just said, man, that constant struggle, that constant mental and physical struggle trying to raise your kid because as a parent, you want your kids to have the best. But sometimes we go overboard, which leads to them being spoiled, entitled, and everything. I was listening to parts of This Might Be Risky last night about the whole dating process. And it's like, bruh, you got so many old heads that's old women and old men feel like they did things the right way. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You motherfucker didn't do shit right. I watched you. I watched you. I'm 45. I'll be 45 in July. I watched you motherfuckers as a young nigga. I watched you. You ain't do nothing right. The same things that we sit up here and say these millennials and Gen Zs, the same thing we talk about, yeah, y'all were doing it. Y'all were creating these baby mamas. Y'all didn't want to be in the household. Like I said, my granddaddy told me he didn't want to be with my grandma. My daddy told me he was never a good father to me or none of my siblings. Think about that. Think about that. The same shit that you old heads be talking about now, talking about what's wrong with the dating scene, what's wrong with this, that, and the third, is the same thing y'all were doing back then. The same thing that was going on now, the same thing going on back then. History always repeats itself. Like I said, my mother was one of the smartest people I know, regardless of gender. Regardless of gender. And she always put me and my folks on game. She always put me and my partners on game about things. She always said history always repeats itself every 20 years, 10, 20 years. She told us that when we were little. The history always repeats itself every 20 years. Just look at fashion. Look at everything that goes on right now in 2024. This thing was going on in 2004. These things were going on in 1984. Ain't nobody changed. Ain't nobody tried to change anything. All we did was grow up. All we did was get older and recognize, yeah, we did some fucked up ass shit. But now we want to sit up here and talk crazy to the younger generation and talking about back in my day, we did this, that, and the third. Man, back in my day, it was thoughts back in my day. It was good women back in my day. When I was roaming the streets, it was good women back in my day. We fucked them over. We fucked them over. See, they ain't gonna tell you that shit. Niggas ain't gonna, these old heads ain't gonna tell you that how many females they fucked over. Now they in their 50s and 60s, 65 years old, talking about what I'm doing wrong. I be sitting here catching myself talking to my son about girls and stuff like that, and I have to tell my son both sides of the story. Just like I had to tell my daughter both sides of the story. It's a good and the bad to dating. It all depends on how you look at it. It all depends on what you do with it. Like I said, these motherfuckers be killing me. So I know if the dating scene really ain't changed. I tell people that all the time, like, man, the dating scene ain't changed. The folks just got older. It's just they turn. This stuff ain't changed. This stuff ain't new. You want to talk about women how they do niggas wrong. Like, okay, cool, bro. I heard that since I was a little boy. That ain't nothing new to me. What's new to me are these pussy ass niggas. That's what's new to me. That's what's new to me. These niggas complain. They stuck in their feelings too motherfucking much. Like, it's alright to have feelings, my guy. It's alright to feel. You know what I'm saying? But to sit there and cry. Sit there and whine. Oh, they don't want to follow me. You nigga, you ain't no leader. You ain't no nigga. You ain't not that guy. The one that want to follow you, you don't want to fuck with them. Cause they don't look right. She 20 pounds overweight. She might got a baby already. Man, so fucking what? Nigga, you ain't perfect. Cause you ain't got no problem bragging about how many females you smashing. Oh, I done had 200 females. I done fucked 400 females. Nigga, and what? You by yourself. You by yourself. I'm a great leader. No, you not. You a great leader to a female that got no sense. So if I know if old heads trying to tell young niggas they fucked up on how they do shit right now, what you think about the kids and raising these goddamn kids? You motherfucker didn't raise us right. You motherfucker didn't raise us right. And my mama did everything in her power to raise me right. She didn't raise me right because she told me to go be an asshole. That was her idea of what me and supposed to do. And I followed suit. She told me to go get some money. The only thing my mama told me to do that she really wanted me to do was get my high school diploma. I did that. She told me and my brother to get my high school diploma. We did that. Outside of that, she didn't tell us to do shit else. My mama didn't tell me and my brother to do shit else but get our high school diplomas. We did that. She ain't push us to go to college. She ain't push us to do nothing else but to get our high school diplomas. And when I got out of school, she felt like, oh, I thought you would have went off to college because I went off to college. Well, you didn't ask me to go to college. That wasn't part of the plan you had for me. That wasn't part of my plan. I realized a long time ago when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, that a C could pass me. So I wasn't looking forward to college. Only reason I had some idea of college is because I made a 21 on the ACT. I made a 21 on the ACT in 10th grade. And the only reason I took it because I needed to graduate. And I had a D average when I took it. I wasn't thinking about no school. I was ready to get out of school. And as soon as I took that ACT, that one time I took a guidance counselor, I had all the business teachers in my school trying to tell me, oh, you want to go to University of Memphis? You want to go to Memphis State? We'll try to get you a scholarship, but your grade point average too low. No shit. I do work in the classes I like. It's crazy that I was making straight A's in Spanish and barely passing English. I didn't give a fuck. The only time my mama really said something to me about my grade when I brought home in world history. She looked at me. She was like, "You ain't even. You not even failing. You incomplete. You don't do nothing. You below a F in world history. You ain't even tried." But when I was 14, she made sure I went and got a job. Oh, she made sure of that. When I was 14, she made sure I got hold of that summer job. Use my grandmama address. Had my grandmama down as my guardian because she made too much money as a school teacher. She found a way to finesse the system for me to get a summer job just to help pay bills because my stepdad didn't want to pay no motherfucking bills. Did that 2 years straight. I had a lot of shit on my motherfucking shoulders early. Early. As a motherfucking child, teenager. Exactly. We raised our fucking selves. All she did was provide the roof over my head. So I know if I went out through all that in the 90s as a teenager, I know what's going on in 2024. And it's a whole lot worse than what's going on when we were coming up. At least my mama did try. At least she did punish me when I did do wrong, even though the punishment didn't last long. She did whoop my ass when I did wrong. I did go through all that. I saw my partners be on punishment. I saw my partners get their ass whooped and shit like that. We got disciplined, even though it probably didn't work. We got disciplined. But I'm looking at shit now with these kids. The stories I hear from my daughter, the stories I hear from my son. And then I go see the parents. Then I go see the parents. And I see why the kids act the way they act. People used to look at me and like, oh, he ain't nothing but a thug. Did that in the third. He smelled like dope all the time. Yeah, this, yeah, that. But yeah, still my kids, straight A students. They know what they know what's required of them to be happy. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, Kasim, man? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm off on Thursdays and Fridays now, and I'm just trying to survive this heat wave that we got going on here in New York. It's crazy hot.
Ah, shit. Who you tell? It's hot in Memphis. It's just that I'm in the AC right now. That's why I got my hoodie on.
Yeah. Well, I would be in the on the lower level, but there's all kind of photography stuff. She's got the whole area all that's lights and stuff everywhere. So I'm just up here in the den. But what you really think is going on, fam? Like with the difference, because I'm in the clouds a lot, right? And
Yeah.
I'm hearing all of these different conversations about the old heads and the new kids that's going on now, and I'm hearing the disconnect, right, between what we went through as an old head and what's happening now. And I'm just a big believer that I think it's always been that way, but for somehow we managed to overcome and we managed to kind of like adapt. And sometimes the message that we try to say to the young people, it gets kind of lost in the sauce because they see so many of the flaws that we did, right? And their particular mind, their perception, it's like, okay, you telling me about the game, but yet you was a participant in it. And I think everybody has to be a participant if they're going to share the best experiences of it, right? If we haven't
Right.
been through that and we haven't contributed, should I say, contributed to the mayhem and foolishness, we have a better scope of looking at it from the inside out. And I think that the message is really, really disconnected between the young and the old people. And I remember, I think it was is it me and Granville, me and Sway was having a conversation about how can we bridge the gap between the communication levels and how they can be receptive to what we say, and then we can be receptive to what they say. And it really is about, communication and showing that overall respect from people, like from the gate. And instead of us old heads trying to school the youngins, right, we show them ways that we failed and where they can make adjustments in order to kind of make it work better. And I've always been a big believer in that. And I even speak that way, to my kids. And I think that's why they've gotten the results that they've been getting, right? Because they out here in the trenches. I hear stories about what they say and things like that, and how the dynamic between men and women is now. So um, I think it's important for us to share that wisdom, but I think the communication got to do a little bit better where we respect them and they respect us.
Well, Kasim, I'm be honest with you. I think what the older generation need to do is quit lying to the younger generation
Give
because
me
it's
some
like
examples.
like raising my kids. I'm just gonna use my personal like
Mm,
raising my kids. My wife was always like, "Don't tell them everything we did growing up." And I was like, well, if I don't tell them everything, then I'll be lying to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's
yeah.
why I have this. I always had an open line of communication with my kids, is because I don't want my kids hear me chastising them about something that I know I did my damn self. So I had to tell them the truth. It's like, I did that too. What you doing right now, I did that too, and I learned my lesson. That's why I'm trying to tell you the good and the bad of it, because it's like, I can tell you what to do to avoid being in a bad situation, but if you still choose to go that route, this is what I did when I still chose to go that route. Because you know what I'm saying? We all were hard-headed growing up as kids. You know what I'm saying? Your parents told you to do this, that, and the third, and you went against your parents because you wanted to try out this, that, and the third. So just about you going through what you were going through as a child, as a teenager, you got your own kids, and you see your kid doing the same things you were doing. I look at it like the best thing for me to do is just tell them the truth instead of me sitting them just telling them what they're gonna go wrong at. I'm like, nah, this the truth. This is what I did. I got through it. But if you know, I prefer you not to go that route. But if you choose to go that route, I don't want to help you, but I'm gonna help you because I did that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Let me ask you this, big dog. Where do you hear these men lying to the youngsters? Is it on the panels? Is it in real life? What's the correlation?
now I hear a lot of lying on panels. I be in the class.
Mm,
So I hear a lot of the disconnect between the younger and the older generation is that the older generation come off like they ain't never did nothing wrong, or the way they did things is so much better than what's going on now. And just like you, it's like I got a 16, finna be 17-year-old son, and his
mm,
partners. I hear them talk, and I say what I say to them, but I don't be like, well, you know, back in the 90s, I did that and the third. So what y'all doing is wrong. I tell them a lot of times it's like, hey, either you gonna play the field or you gonna find one chick and be down with that one chick. The choice up to
yeah.
you. So when I hear the older cats telling the younger cats is that what y'all doing is wrong. The only thing I really say that they doing it wrong is like you can't have your emotions on your sleeve all the time. It's like
Mm-mm.
it's all right to feel some type of way about something that's going on, but at the same time to just cry about things all the time, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So that's one thing I really put into my son is like I don't like to see you like it's all right for you to cry, but to cry about everything, that's the problem. So that's the only thing I really see that the younger generation do, that they cry about a whole lot that they don't have to cry about. It's like if you a man, you got a pair of balls for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get hurt. That happens to everybody, man or female. You gonna get hurt. But the best thing is like see what you got hurt at, try not to make them mistakes again, and keep on going forward. You can't sit there and dwell on the hurt, and then you can't never have no decent relationships going forward. That's crazy to me.
All right. Let me ask you this, big dog. At what age should men or boys stop crying and man up? At what age?
Uh if we're talking about like what we talking about, we talking about relationship, we talking about like what we talking about, saying.
Just in life in general, right? Because I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, right, and Scudder Homes over here in the projects, right, and I was on the smaller side, so I had to be tough. I didn't have time to cry and whine because either my mom would tell me to man up, or or another elder in the thing would tell me to man up. So I think at about maybe I would say age 11, 12, when I stopped all the crying and the whining because I knew I couldn't do that because they wouldn't allow that. Do you think that if people had a certain age where they stopped the whining and crying, it wouldn't be as vocal now, like in their 20s?
I put it like this. When it came down to family members in my family, I stopped crying when I was about 12, 13.
Mm.
I couldn't cry no more. It was like I cried when my folks died, when they were passing away. That hurt me. But
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
of just crying because my grandmama said something or my mama said something, I'm like, by the time I got 12, 13, I was like, I can't cry. I was like, what's the purpose of crying about it? I can't cry. No, like, it is what it is. As far as relationships with other women, I think I had got hurt at 20. And when I got hurt at 20, I started looking at women. I started putting everything together that my mother and my grandmother was telling me, and everything I was doing up until 20. I started putting everything together. And I'm like, all right, so this is exactly how women operate when I was 20. So I'm gonna
Mm.
say somewhere between 21 and 13.
Okay.
Overall.
Okay.
13, 21.
Now, was there like consequences to you crying all the time? Like, did you get beat? You know what I'm saying? Did you know, like, you get the wind knocked out of you? Did you, this other guy? Again, I'm an old head, and that's
Yeah.
how they got down like that, right? They wasn't having none of that. Corporal punishment was alive and kicking, right? Where not only your parents beat you, but whoever was down the hall, they saw you acting up, they beat you too.
Yeah.
So you had to always walk around with your face covered, because you never know where a back end gonna come out somewhere, right? Seem like sometimes they
You
be coming out the floor.
you
But do
not
you
lying.
think that made a difference?
You not lying, because I grew up the same way you grew up. It like the neighborhood like where my grandmama stayed at, it was folks in the neighborhood that knew me and my brother. They already know that's Miss Johnson grandsons. They already saw, they were like, look, if we get in trouble, my grandmama gonna get me, my great grandmama gonna get me, my mama gonna get me when she get out of work. And anybody that saw me or my brother do something in the neighborhood, they have free range to slap the hell out of me
On site.
on site. And the same thing was going on in where I stayed at, was like me, my brother, and my partners, we would go over each other's house in the neighborhood, and my mother would call wherever I was going, my mom would call my partner mom and say, look, if they over there cutting up, you got my permission to beat their ass. And that was throughout the whole neighborhood. So everywhere we went, it was like, look, the best bet, we're gonna do something, we can't get caught, because we're gonna get 25 ass whoopings if we get caught.
hmm But you
So
know what though, big dog? Maybe that's the thing, right? Maybe it was the men, right, that got those particular, wind knocked out of them, got those beatings, that looked at it as far as correction, and they say, hey, like, you know what? This could be a really good form of correction and discipline. Maybe some of those guys that really couldn't take it that much, or thought it was like abuse, say, hey, like, you know what? When I have kids, I'm not gonna treat my kids the way that my parents treated me. So that whole communal thing kind of dissipated, right? And instead of having a little bit of corporal punishment every now and then, they stopped doing that. And that's when some of the respect was lost for the elders, some of the discipline was lost, and then some of the control was lost, because those kids that got beat, started this abuse and say, hey, I'm not going to abuse my kids like that. So they did like no punishment whatsoever. So the kids are undisciplined. I think that's where it came from.
I do too, because like before my mother had retired, like she died in 2003. She had retired from the school system in Memphis. I want to say either 2001 or 2002. And before she retired, she had told me, she was like, when they had took a corporal punishment out of the school system, she was like, oh, we can't do nothing. It's like it's gonna be a wrap, because now at least we had the straps and the paddles to try to keep these kids in line when they act up in class and all that right there. So now they took that out of the school system. It ain't nothing for us to do. Like the words didn't stop them from doing nothing. It
No.
was it was them paddles and them straps that
hmm
made them stop doing this. So once you take that out the system, it's like what can we do? Because the words don't bother them. So
hmm
not only with that, but the whole simple fact that growing up, you know what you got done to you, and then when you start having your kids, you sit there and say, "Well, I ain't gonna do my kids the way my folks did me." But at the same time, you don't have no discipline. Like you grow up where you have no discipline for your kids, which leads to your kids are doing whatever the hell they want to do. And instead of you saying, look here, let me go and take care of these kids before they get out of control, you constantly feed into their bullshit and constantly
hmm
spoiling them and constantly letting them do this and the third. And now when somebody else try to correct them, first thing you want to do, you want to jump to their defense and my child ain't did this, my child ain't did that. You land on my child. You want to come up to the school and fight the teachers and all that right there. And I'm sitting here like, later, you know your child a fucking asshole.
Bad as hell. Bad as hell.
You know your child bad as hell. And you wanna sit here and defend his action, defend her actions, and tell me your child an angel. I'm sitting here looking at your child. I'm sitting here looking at your child. I remember just like me being the coach, it was some players that would come in, don't want to listen. get the cussing at me and all that right now. I'm like, look, bro, you don't have to be here. Then if I send them out to gym, their parents come back up there with like, why you send my son home? Why my son can't practice? Well, ma'am, your son cussing me out. Ain't you a man? Yeah, I'm a man. He a little boy. Now, if you want me to treat him like I treat my son, I beat his ass. So that's one thing I used to always tell my players. I'm gonna treat you like I treat my son. I'm gonna take care of you. As long as you up under my wing, I got you. But if you violate, just like my son violate, I'm gonna get on your ass. So knowing you not my son and you talking crazy to me and I send you home, that's the best out. That's the best out for me to send you home. Your mama come back up there talking about why he can't practice. Your son up here being a disturbance. Your son up here cussing everybody out. Your son doing this. Your son doing that. I did what was best for not only me but for the rest of my team. Ain't you a man? Can't you say something to him? Can't you do something? Yeah, I can, but you ain't gonna like it because I'm end up putting my hands on. I'm in them cussing his ass out, and you ain't gonna like because he gonna go home crying, talking about coach cussed me out, coach made me run extra lap, coach made me do this. Now you want to be mad at me because I handle him like a man. So
that's the thing, man.
Yeah, wow. So I think it's a combination of what they saw coming up and what they was allowed to do coming up too.
Right.
We gotta like I can't just sit here and say that, you know, like I said, the old heads, we responsible for the upbringing too. Cause like I said, we did some dumb ass shit that they saw. We can't run from that. We did some dumb ass shit, but we also know that they was allowed to do dumb ass shit too.
Right.
They mama let them do dumb ass shit. So now you had a lot of young guys that have been spoiled. That their mama told them that they don't do nothing wrong, that it's always somebody else's fault, y'all this, y'all that. So now when they dating these girls and these women, these young women expect from them to be, I ain't even gonna say traditional, I'm just gonna say be a man.
Be a man, be men. And they don't know how.
They don't know how.
And then the women get frustrated, right? Then the women get frustrated. So yeah, man, it's this yin and yang thing. I'm trying to even think. I probably like beat my sons like maybe twice in their whole lifetime, right? There were certain things that they did, you know, where they got a talking to, and there was certain things with just like me, you know, a certain level of correction had to be done. But the thing is that once that correction was done, they never did that same exact thing again. Right. They learned to it. They learned from it, understand that it was wrong. And I made it a point that like to make sure all three of them, if one of them did something wrong, all three of them was right there, and they could see exactly what the punishment, you know, was. But I mean, they turned out to be phenomenal men, right? They're leaders in their capacity, you know, great citizens and stuff like that. But I just think that I wouldn't say this generation is lost, but it's going to take a while, you know, in order for us to get back together, to have peace and harmony where, you know, we're not each other's throats, fam.
I say the same thing too, cause like you raised 3 boys, I'm raising one right now, and I try to tell him the truth. I like, look, you know, I know what you hear because I tell him all the time. So I don't want you to grow up to be like these guys on YouTube. I always complain about women. I said, bro, the truth of the matter is, there's no perfect woman. There's no perfect woman, and you're gonna get with a woman that's gonna be I tell him like, you want to try to get a woman that got more positives than negatives.
Yes.
The negatives gonna be there though. You're gonna have to deal with the negatives. It's like you don't want her to have a lot of negatives, but you want to have a lot of positives. I said, but she's gonna have some negatives, and you're gonna have to deal with them. She's gonna hurt your feelings, she's gonna say something you don't like, she's gonna do some things you don't like. Can you bounce back from that? Or are you gonna go complain because she ain't doing everything you want to do? Like, I'm not gonna tell my son to go find somebody like his mama. Even though I would want him to find somebody like his mom, I'm not gonna push that issue for him to find somebody like his mom because his mom is a good woman. But like I said, your mama fucked up too. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing from my kids. I don't have nothing from my kids. I tell my daughter, I said, look, she like the dude she with now. She tell me, Dad, he remind me of you. I said, that's a good thing because I ain't do nothing but treat you right. But he just called us. When she talked to us yesterday, he was in the background. Oh, she doing me wrong. I like, what she do to you? I like, what you do to him? She was like, I ain't did nothing. He over here just crying like a little girl. I said, well, I ain't got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? But I know that she got more positive than negative. I know he just, just talking about it. She probably said something that he ain't like, hurt his feelings. And I'm like, well, bro, by all means, break up with her if you want to break up with her. I ain't gonna tell you to stay with my daughter just for the sake of staying with my daughter. Even though I know my daughter's a good girl, if she hurt your feelings, leave her alone. She be all right. She be all right. But just like what I tell my daughter, just like I tell my son, you're gonna deal with women that's gonna be straight. It's just that they're gonna do little shit, they're gonna piss you off. Can you deal with it? If you can't deal with it, then leave her alone. If you can deal with it, let this shit roll off your back and keep pushing because she got a lot of things, a lot of positive going on. So that's just how I look at it. So it's just more along the lines of both men and women. We got to understand is that we not perfect. We fucked up. We flawed. And now no man, no woman walking the face of the earth perfect. And once we understand that, I think that will help us build to whatever we trying to build as far as the community. Once we realize we're not perfect, everybody ain't rich, everybody ain't pretty, everybody ain't like we humans. We are what we are. Either you gonna deal with me or you ain't gonna deal with me. But I can't sit here and bitch about you not dealing with me. I'm going on and find somebody that's gonna deal with me.
Right. It's kind of it gets to. I think it gets to a point where you can be too old to be naive to female nature,
Yeah.
right? Especially in the black community. Um, we know mamas, sisters, aunties have a certain way that they move, right?
Right.
But we do understand there's levels to that, right? And I'll give you an example. When I divorced my wife in 2000, my boys were relatively still young, right? So they knew the relationship dynamic that we had. They knew how their mom was and how she acted, and they knew how I acted. But then once I kind of, I don't necessarily say got my shit together, right? And I changed the way that I communicated. I changed the way that I treated people. I had a different outlook on people. And then when it was with my current girl now, which will actually be 17 years in the 27th next week. Wow, 17 years, holy cow.
That's a long time.
Yeah. They noticed the difference in between the woman that I have now and their mama. They see the difference in behavior. They see the difference in character. They see the difference in communication. And it's like not necessarily wishing that my current girl
Your mom.
was the father of my children, but that could never be because the dynamic would be totally different, right? If you switch that one element in the recipe, it's going to destroy the whole taste because you might not get the same outcome. Right. So, but they noticed the difference between pleasant behavior and not so pleasant behavior. And I told them, let that be your guide. Like when I met your mom, she was not perfect. She had a lot of things going on with her. She was young, right? When we got married, I was 22 and she was 19, right? But she was mature in her mind in a way that she handled herself, right? Which is the reason why I chose her. I'm like, okay, cool. She's young and stuff like that. She's marriage minded. She got some really good, morals and values, from her mother when it comes to, doing the basic stuff, but it was just that relationship communication thing that we both were not good at. So they understand between what a good, healthy relationship is and what a good, healthy relationship is not. And I do give them an opportunity to kind of to speak to my girl, for them to ask questions, about, certain things that they might not want to talk to me about, and then she's like, hey, like, you know what, Elijah had called, we talked about some stuff and I really helped them out, which I truly do appreciate, right? That she can give them a different scope from a feminine perspective. And she's doing it from a place of really genuinely trying to help them because they are part of me and she loves me. And my boys understand, like, hey, that this is the woman that my dad is with. You know, they have a great life together. They experience a lot of different experiences, and she is only going to look out for me because she looks out for my dad, right? So I think it's important for men to understand you got to know female nature and not let it frustrate you. And what I hear on these panels is a lot of men being frustrated by what women do, expecting them to be perfect. When they do the things that they do, they get upset and they don't know how to conflict resolution, skills. They don't know how to communicate that. And then it goes left because just as you said, she's expecting you to be the man to know these things, right? To know how she is in order to and to communicate with her in a certain way that doesn't make her feel this way. But when they don't, it totally goes left. Um, I think that we need to start from there. I think we need to start that, hey, relationships do not start out from perfection because people are not perfect. Look
Yeah,
for the tangible things within them, the values that you can rock with, and then you rock with those values and you stick to those values and those principles. And I'm gonna stop there.
yeah, because it's like when I met my wife was telling everybody, I do not find him attractive. Like he's not boyfriend material. And I used to be like, whatever, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like me. But I would shoot my shot at her every day for a year straight. She was like, no, I do not want to date you. I don't want to go nowhere with you. No, 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 no. Okay, fine, cool, whatever. But then slowly but surely, she started telling me, without telling me why she didn't want to date me. She was like telling me one, the way you talk to women. She's like, I don't like that because you have no filter over your mouth when you talk to women. She's like, you just say whatever come out your mouth. So I'm hearing that in conversations on just saying what's up to her every day. She telling me you talk real crazy to women. I won't call them out their name. I just wasn't going when they would say something stupid. Then she was like, he talking to too many women. So I'm listening to everything she's saying, just listening like, all right, so she don't like the way I talk to women, and she don't like the fact that I talk to a lot of women. So I was like, all right, I already know what she want in order for me to get with her. That's me understanding women's nature just by listening. And I think what it is that a lot of men, they like to talk. They don't like to listen. They don't like to hear what the women are actually telling them. They want to believe what I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. I said, do you really know that? Or is that something you just assume that they want because you saw somebody on IG saying did that or the third, or somebody on TikTok saying did that or the third. So this your perception of all women that they all want this 6-figure dude. Like all women don't want the 6-figure dude. All women don't want the 6-foot dude. All women, well, I don't know about the 6 inches, and I don't that's a whole nother story. But all women don't want the same dude. I said, but if you listen to the women, they'll tell you what they want, and either you gonna be able to give them what they want, or you're not gonna be able to give them what they want. If you can't give a woman what she wants for her to follow you, then guess what? Leave that woman alone.
But you know what though, big dog? It's
What's up?
another caveat to that. When you ask a woman what she wants, you have to demonstrate that you her best option, right? I'm just a big believer in it, and I told my middle son that. I mean, he was like, yeah, I popped the question to Felicia. I'm like, yeah. I said, I know, and he was like, you know what? She telling me all of these things that she wants and stuff like that. I said, well, I mean, you got the caliber, you got the skills, you demonstrate that she's making the right choice, that she's your best option. And he just ran with that. He was like, you know what, that's a really good point. I'm like, yes, just like you got options, she has options too as well. And you pop the question to her, and she's gonna. It's not like you pop the question to her, and she's just gonna just go ahead and just going straight now. It's like, no, man, she's gonna every now and then she's gonna test to see, you know, and ask you questions and do things like just to confirm that she's making the right choice to marry you. And even when you get married, that's not going to stop. She's going to be doing things. She's going to say things, ask certain questions, just to make sure that she is making the right choice, right? And you are showing those attributes for the reason why you want to stay. We had a conversation 2 weeks ago, you know, about life and stuff like that. And, he asked me about, his mom and stuff like that. And I didn't talk bad on her. I just talked about what I did and what I contributed, how I said stuff and what I did that contributed to the relationship and what I did to overcome it and to make some recommendations as far as what they can do. Right. Even with my current girl right now, I don't compare them. They have eyes. They can see it. Right. So it's not like I'm pushing them for one person or another. I'm having them to look at individuals in their lives and kind of helping them form their own decisions. And I think if more men take more responsibility for some of the shit that they did, right? I think it starts from there, and then we can go on from there.
But speaking on that, Kasim, I think that's one of the problems though, is that we want to be leaders. Because I hear that a whole lot in these spaces, is that men want to be the leaders. And I'm always like, I'm a man, I'm supposed to be the leader. I'm not the woman basher trying to prove my power, my dominance over women. It's just that how I was raised and what I was told and what I was taught by women is that, nigga, you supposed to be in charge when you have your family. You supposed to be in charge when you dating. You supposed to be in charge. You supposed to make the decisions. You supposed it's the reason why the world is on Atlas back and not a woman back. You know what I'm saying? So just by me learning all that as a young man growing up, it's like I'm gonna be the leader because I'm the leader. I'm not gonna beg you to let me lead. I'm gonna be the leader because I'm the leader. I'm gonna be in charge because I'm gonna be in charge. And I'm also gonna ask you for your advice when I don't know nothing. That's part of being a leader too. Is like if I'm stuck and I don't know which way to go, and you know which way to go as my woman, I'm foolish not to ask you for help. I'm not gonna sit here and lead her down the wrong path because of my ego. I'm that's part of being the leader. And I think just being a leader, men want to be bosses, they don't want to be leaders. And it's a difference between a boss and a leader. The boss want to sit on the throne and bark out the orders while the leader get in the mud with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with the whole community thing, it's like they always saying single mamas messed up the community, but where were the daddies at? How the community get so shot? Well, the government did this and the government did that. I, for one, know the government didn't run my folks off. They run the men off in my family. I know for a fact they didn't run off because of the food stamps and Section 8 and all that. They ran because they didn't want to be with the women in my family. They ran.
Mm-hmm.
They told me this themselves, that they didn't want to be. My granddaddy told me that himself. He didn't want to be with my grandma. He made two babies with her. My daddy told me I was a shitty parent to all my kids. So I'm hearing this coming out of the men in my life telling me it wasn't Section 8 that ran them off. It was the fact that they didn't want to be there in the community and raise kids and do what's right for the community. They want to do their own thing. So my thing be this right here. How you gonna put all the faults of the community on the shoulders of the women when a lot of y'all wasn't there to help the women build the community up? Y'all want the women to y'all want the women to get the community straight so y'all come back in and run the community without doing nothing. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, that I can agree with that a little bit. Yeah, I think it really gets back to learning how to relate to one another, fam. Learning how to communicate and understand and accept the differences in the way that we think and the things that we do and why we do the things that we do. I think if we have a better understanding and a better grasp and acceptance of that, most of the frustration will kind of dissipate and not be there. But yeah, man, you killing it today, man. You killing it.
Yeah, because like I seen, I started and I was starting the lab and I stopped because I wasn't fitting. And I said, you know what, let me go and restart it and get it. I had to get into my fitness. I had to get anchored. Yeah, because I've been hearing a lot of shit lately. And it's like all I hear is problem. No solutions.
Mm.
No solutions. Like, How long can we keep on doing this back and forth dick and pussy conversation until somebody say, you know what, let's fix this shit. Let's fix this shit. If we really want black men and black women to be together, you don't want black women doing this, you don't want black men doing that, fine, cool, whatever the case may be. I got you. I understand that shit. But who gonna sit at the table and do the negotiations? Because
You know what?
gotta be. What's up?
It's not just the negotiation. Now, guess what, man? You got to look at yourself and you got to examine yourself.
That
You
too.
got to look in the mirror and yourself. And most people don't like what they see when they look at themselves in the mirror.
I agree.
Now it's like, okay, you know what? Now I got to change a whole lot of stuff. My whole mindset that I had since I was a small child, now I got to tear that down and start all over again. And to a lot of people, that's scary. It's easier for me to convince somebody, it's easy for me to gaslight somebody, right, than to make the changes within myself, right? Because I could just stay as corrupted as I am, the same messed up mentality, the same way of doing. I could stay that way and convince that other person, like, listen, you need to do it. You need to find a better way and know how to deal with my damn dysfunction because I'm not going to change.
I'm not
And
gonna
people don't want to
change.
do that.
You right. You right. Cause like I sit up here every day and I tell people how wrong I was in my marriage. And I had to change because I was like, how long can I keep on doing wrong before this woman up and leave me alone? I had to look myself in the mirror and I had to put ego to the side. I had to put everything to the side. Like, look, do I want to be with this woman or do I want to be somewhere else? If I want to be somewhere else, then I keep on doing the things I'm doing. But the chances of me finding another woman like her gonna be real small. That's perfect for me. It's gonna be real small. I can have whatever I want because, like I tell her all the time, like if I'm not with you, I know I can get another female, but she ain't gonna be you though.
Yes.
She ain't gonna be you. So I can sit here, like you said, I can look in the mirror and see what the old me was, and I keep on doing it, and I end up losing a good thing, or I can change my mindset for one, and how I look at things and say, you know what, the old me would have did this, that, and the third. Now I'm different. Now I see things differently. Now I'm gonna change and do something different and get a different outcome. So, like you said, a lot of people look themselves in the mirror and instead of trying to change that image that they have of themselves, they keep it and say, look, just deal with who I am. If you can't deal with who I am, then you ain't the one for me. And it's like, you're right. I can't deal with who you are because you wrong. And you know you wrong. But instead of you trying to change what you do wrong, you just tell me to deal with it. And if you can't deal with it, find somebody else. We gotta start with self, like you said.
Yeah, but I mean, if they what type of person would that be that would be able to that would want to handle all of that chaos and dysfunction? In my mind, the only person that wants to handle that chaos and the dysfunction is a person that has chaos and dysfunction. Because you can't have somebody of sound and right mind and good, characters and values deal with someone that's unstable and uncharacteristic. You really can't do it that way because one of the others is going to get frustrated. So yeah, it's like, you know what, you need to get better at dealing with my dysfunction because I'm not gonna want to do on any of the inner work, on myself. I'm going to get as much as I can get, from you, tangible and intangible. And then, when I feel some type of way, then, I'm gonna flip the script on you. But I totally agree with when you have that right person in your life, and there's not that many out there. Look, I'm so happy I'm not out there in these streets, man, because I see what's going on, and I'm like, man, I am so glad I'm out the game. You know what I'm saying? Because man, it's really hard because I hear from my coworkers. We just had it was a Puerto Rican Day parade here in New York City,
Yeah.
and one of my coworkers, he's Puerto Rican and Dominican, and he's single, he's 42. He's dating out here in New York City. He was like, "Yo, Kasim," he was like, bro," he said, "It's hard out here." He was like, "Yo, these women out here are just crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, especially here in New York because they got so many options. It's summertime. There's plenty of wealthy men running around here. Lots of millionaires running around here, and those dudes be taking these women out, so they get adjusted to a certain lifestyle. You see them at the best rooftop parties. You see them at the best, events and venues and stuff like that. And fame, if you ain't got it like that, it's gonna be hard, for you to compete." Because he was like, "Yeah, I met this one girl. She was really nice. we supposed to go out on Wednesday. This was Sunday. He was like, yeah, we supposed to go out on Wednesday. And then Wednesday came, she came up with an excuse. You know, her engine blew out in her car, is what he said. She told him. And I'm like, yo, fam. I said, yo, I heard some pretty bad excuses, but the engine blowing out in her car is the reason why, you know, she couldn't meet you. I'm like, yeah. He was like, yeah, he's like, yo, he said, you glad you got your good one, man, because it's hard out here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, like I tell my wife, I tell her, I like, I can function out here because I already know I can go back into being dysfunctional if I was by myself. I know I can go out there and be dysfunctional, but how long do I want to be dysfunctional? At 44. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really is. It's like I always tell, I like, yeah, I could deal with these women if the complaints I'm hearing is what I'm hearing. I'm like, I could deal with no complaints. Before I met her, I was dealing with dysfunctional female before I met my wife. So I'm used to dysfunction.
Yeah.
But that was in my teens and 20s. I'm
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my 40s with it for so long. I could deal with it for so long before I'm like, hey, is you gonna get any better? You know what I'm saying? Is you gonna stop doing all this little crazy ass shit? Because I'm old now. You know what I'm saying? I can't rip and run behind your young ass all motherfucking day. Want to argue all day and then want to turn around and have sex all night. It's like, nah, I'm old now. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of comfortable. I got my routine down packed. So, but yeah, it's like it's dysfunction on both sides. But that go back to how they were raised. It's like what they saw and what they was allowed to do. And with some of these women, you know, I ain't just the biggest person, the biggest man to sit there and say, "Oh, feminism did this," and like I saw what I saw. You know what I'm saying? I saw what I saw, and what I saw growing up was a lot of hot ass girls that were just hiding ass, hiding ass, and you would think because of where we stayed at that they was better than the ones I was going to school with, because I was going to school in one part of Memphis, the rough part of Memphis, and I stayed in the better part of Memphis. But I'm like, the girls where I stay at is just as bad as the girls I go to school with. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like because they in a better environment, they're gonna be better girl. They're like they seen this shit from the people that's around them, and they reacting the way they're reacting. They hiding ass. They literally was hiding, like they literally giving up box to every dude in the apartments.
Wow.
And then they get mad at us for talking about them that, yeah, so-and-so, she smashed me. She gave me some. She gave my partner some. She gave my partner some. And then she run around talking about they talk too much. Well, you did that. You did that. You want us not to talk about what we did with you? Yeah, she did such. She did such. It was one female I was dealing with. I know between me and 5 of my partners. We ran through me and 5 of my partners. We had this one girl, and she gonna tell me and one of my partners on the phone. We was on the phone one day. We were just talking about her. She was like, I ain't did nothing with all y'all. We said nothing. Me and him on the phone just quiet. We were like, this motherfucker up here lying. You did something with my partner in my house while I was at work.
Damn it.
You know, so she sitting up here want to play all innocent. We sitting there like, you literally smashed 6 dudes in my clique. So again, some of these females coming from 2-parent households.
Yeah.
So that whole single mama raising them type of thing. I'm like, I saw different growing up. I saw these girls come from 2-parent household that were hiding their ass.
Especially when they got out the house and they went to school, they went to college. Oh man, bruh.
They were hiding ass. So a lot of the talking points that I heard is like I can challenge them because just we can use the stats all day. And I like numbers, I like stats, but at the same time, I see what I seen in my personal life too. And it's like, bro, I've seen a lot of these girls that came from 2-parent household that were hiding their ass. They had a dad that was there that took care of the bill, made sure the mama didn't need nothing, made sure she had everything she wanted, all that good shit right there, and she still was giving it up to Ed nigga Walker. They had nothing to do with her mama. They had everything to do with what she wanted to do. So, like I said, there's a lot of dysfunction in general. Just like with the dudes, it's like you have how many times have you heard on the panel dudes talking about how many bodies they got?
Yeah.
They talk about
It's
how
a,
many
it's a,
bodies.
yeah, it's a status, man. It's a status symbol. We as men, we know that sexual access is a great indicator of status amongst men, right?
Right,
It's
we
like
know that.
notches in the belt. But I was listening to one panel. We got to be careful about these stats, big dog, because you know what happens with these stats and these numbers when you're in these spaces and you're hearing all these stats and these numbers. There are a lot of men that get froze by just those numbers, right? And they're afraid to try. It's like, listen, man, like, yes, there are stats and things out there and, and this and that, but you can't allow those numbers to hold you hostage where you even afraid to try. Because yes, there may be some negative, but there are also a little positives, but you just got to go out there and try because not everybody's failing,
Right.
and I was in the chat. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, chatting with this one person, and we going back and forth. And then he said, like, yeah, he was like, yeah, Kasim, but but the numbers, are not in my favor. And it hit me. It's like, oh shit. So the numbers are not in your favor of getting success. So you don't want to try? Is that what we doing?
That's what
And
they
I said
do.
that, and I said that, and he didn't respond. He didn't respond to that. He would respond to other stuff. And then I hit him. I added him again. Like, yo, I said, is this what we doing? The numbers got us handicapped, but we scared to try.
That's what that's what they do. And then on top of that, Kasim, like I had said a while ago, which number's the right numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got all these different sites and sources, and depending on what narrative you pushing, you gonna get whatever number pushes your narrative the best. And I'm
Yes, because you
sitting here
don't
like
want to. It's a competition about who can get checkmated.
exactly. So I'm sitting here like I like I said, I like numbers, I like stats, but at the same time, I'm knowing if it's so many different sources for a certain topic you want to talk about, and I see
And a
different
certain
numbers.
outcome. Yeah.
Exactly. Which numbers is the right number? Because you're gonna use the number that best suits your narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's accurate or not. Because I did a couple of data analysis classes. And one thing I learned they was like when they always say women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. They're like numbers do lie if you omit certain numbers.
Mm-hmm.
If you can change the numbers to fit whatever narrative you want to fit, as long as you omit or add certain numbers to make your narrative look like it want to look. It's
Yes.
just like at the Olympics with the floor routines or whatever. Where they take away the lowest and the highest numbers,
Mm-hmm.
they
Yeah.
composite score. You just took away two scores out of the composite score, so them scores could have changed the rankings one
The
way or
dynamic.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could change one way or other, but you took the highest and the lowest out and just used the rest of them to come up with the average score when you just omitted two scores.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I be like. You can use all the numbers in the world, but which numbers are the right numbers? You can't convince me. And I like numbers. You can't convince me when you got a narrative to push. You're gonna use whatever numbers to make the narrative be in your favor. And just like I said, and just like you said, the numbers got y'all shook to a
Mm-hmm.
point where you won't even try. And it's like, how you know you're not gonna succeed? The numbers will tell you, oh, it's a 65% chance you're not gonna get what you want. Well, it's a 35% chance say I can.
Mm-hmm. And you
Why?
and you see dudes winning. You see some dudes winning. It's like shit. Maybe I should get with dude over here that's winning. And yo, fam, like give me the secret sauce. Give me the recipe. Like how tell me what you're doing so I can get that same result that you getting.
Exactly. That's what I was like when I tell people, I'm like, the only thing I had in my favor growing up is I was tall. I'm 6 feet. I said, other
Mm.
than that, I didn't have a lot of money. I'm a big nigga. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't dress fly. I didn't have no fancy car growing up. All I had was my mouthpiece and my height. And
Yep.
if I listen to the numbers, I would never try anything. And instead of me listening to the numbers, I said, like, fuck this shit. I like women. I like girls. I'm gonna go try and see what I can do. Once I
Mm-hmm.
start running my mouth and I see that I can talk to girls and they like what I was saying. I'm like, oh, the numbers are lying. If you just really try.
Mhm.
That's why I come up here to listen to you two guys, because I want to get back out there, you know.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Get back out there and do what?
What you gonna do, Top Cat?
You know, this OG still got it, you know.
Oh, okay, okay.
You got to have more. You
You
got to
better
have
stay
more.
your ass on the porch. You better stay your old ass on the porch, okay?
Top Cat,
Just
what's
sit there on
going
the
on
porch
with you?
Man, how you
with,
guys
with
doing,
your
man?
paws on the steps, with your paws on the steps like this,
Yeah.
looking at the cars go by.
What's
Yeah,
that?
Just stay there.
Stay in that rocket chair with that cup of tea.
yeah, my
Yeah,
son.
with your sweet tea with lemon, damn it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit.
My son's like, Dad. He said, Dad, didn't you tell me when you can't run with the big dog, stay on the porch?
Stay on the porch,
he
yes.
said, there's that glider over there. You better take a seat.
Top Cat, what's going on with you?
Man, I see what y'all saying, and too bad he wasn't there that night we was on what's his name panel, Kasim, remember when we had who we have on it with us?
Damn it. 187.
Yeah, man, too bad you wasn't there, big dog, because you didn't enjoy that, man.
What was on the Fatty channel? Which
No,
channel was it on?
187.
I don't think I'm subscribed to his
187.
channel. Yeah, I know y'all talking about. I don't think I'm subscribed to his channel. That's why I said Witch Doctor or Fatty channel. I know he be over there.
Oh man, it was man, Kasim is just like, this dude wanted some advice, and he was just blown away by the information. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was listening instead of talking, and it was just so awesome, because you know how they want to always cut us off and you can't finish. This brother just sat there and listened. I mean, to tell you, before he got off of there, he said, "Man, look, I appreciate all this, because he don't get it nowhere."
Right. And you know what though? The thing is that we wasn't judging him,
Right.
right? Even when that comment that he said about his girl, you know, there's OnlyFans. We didn't deep dive into that. He's like, yeah, we heard it and we moved on past it, because what her profession is not important. The importance is that the dynamic of the relationship that they have and the communication, that's way important than what the hell a profession is. Right?
And that's the conversation we got to have. You know, Big Dog, you, Kasim, all of us, if we can get on like one accord and just put it out there so they can see is y'all to blame for this, y'all to blame for that. You know, you old heads to blame. I'm like, I'm a baby boomer. You can't blame my ass.
I mean, like I was saying to Kasim, is like I could take fault where I did wrong. I ain't got no problem telling you where I did wrong. As far as what my son seeing, what other young men have seen me do, I could take that. Like, yeah, I did that. I ain't got no problem admitting that I did that, but I can't take blame for all that. You can't put all that off on me or Kasim or Top Cat or whatever the case may be. You can't do that.
But you see what Kasim said when he said that he sat down his sons and explained about his ex-wife? You did the exact same thing I did with my son. I sat down and I laid it all out there. Ain't no hating, wasn't no hating. Look, I messed up. I did wrong. I didn't bash her. And it works out on both ends, because it's no sense to go carry no hate and stress on your shoulders when they listen and they process it. And then he says to me, "Hey, Dad, you know what? I'm not worried about all that. All I know is I love you." That's all it was, and then moved on. You know, and that's all there is to it. But there's some people that don't want to be like us and just be open and be honest, and then you get criticized. Why would you do that? Why would you do this? Just like you, Big Dog. I mean, you telling your son, "Hey, I was a dog too." I told my son I smashed him. I ain't gonna lie. You know what's you know, that's what he's doing. He's just like me. Every time I turn around, who's this? Who's this?
But like Kasim said, a lot of us don't want to look in that mirror and see who we really are. It's like, you fucked up, you did wrong, you ain't perfect and all this right there. So why put on this fake ass image, especially on panels and social media and shit like that? You are who you are. Just admit that shit. You know, whoever gonna rock with you, they gonna rock with you. They ain't gonna rock with you. They ain't gonna rock with you. It is what it is.
Did you see that video that somebody put up? I don't know if Kasim seen it or not, where the man said to his woman, she said, "What's the matter with you?" He says, "My ex just passed away." And the girl says to him, his girl's like, "What the fuck you want me to do?" He said, "I'm just telling you." No, he's just telling her
Right.
because she asked him, "What does it matter?" So he told her. And then it went on and on. And she said, "Well, won't you go with her?" What kind of shit? I said, I think Fatty played it. And Fatty's like, "What would you do, OG?" I said, "I told her to kick rocks." Because if she felt that way.
I think I saw parts of that yesterday. I probably was cooking when y'all went on Fatty channel talking about that. I mean, a situation like that, I could tell my wife, well, one of my ex-girlfriend passed. I don't even think I would tell her that.
No. and that's the thing. You know what? TC, we talked about that too. Remember we talked about
Yes.
breadcrumbing,
Yes.
emotional things and not being a dump truck and dumping it all on them. That's probably something I would not have shared, because in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, I know she's a woman, and if I know that if I show feelings for another woman, my ex or whatever, that she ain't gonna be cool with that.
Right.
She is gonna take that just like as that woman did. It's like, you know what? If you care about her so much, then why don't you be with her? Because that's how women react. That's how women compartmentalize things through feelings, and they act on those feelings, right? So again, it's one of those things where you gotta breadcrumb some emotions and vulnerabilities, and there's sometimes keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, before you say anything, TC, Sugar Bum, I'm gonna need for you to go and come up on the panel. You know what I'm saying? I need for you to go and come up here.
Boy.
You be everywhere causing all type of shit. You need to come up here and come talk to me.
You know what though? This is what I learned, Big Dog, about Sugar Bum.
What's up?
Because I used to get frustrated and triggered a lot too. Right. But once I started to think about it, it's like, you know what? I do know those men that she's talking about. I've seen those men that she's talking about. I've been around those men that she's talking about, and she's just expressing, a certain type of man that she has encountered, and we all know it. Yes. Right. So I know she's not talking about me.
Right.
Right. Yes. She's just describing the type of men that are out here, and we get triggered because we know what she's saying is sort of true, because we know those same guys that she's talking about.
Like we were.
That's why every time I see Sugar Bum, I be like, Sugar Bum, come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? You come over here, come holler at me. I ain't gonna run you out. You gonna holler at me. We gonna rap tape. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's all it takes is the talk. You want to say something, but we would rather have you come up. You know what I mean, Kasim? We're like that. We're like, hey, we're open. They ain't gonna criticize you because everybody's been through it.
Like I deal with women like Sugar Bum my whole life. Sugar Bum ain't gonna say nothing I ain't never heard before. But I appreciate it because she like she do her job. When she go in different chat rooms, she do her job. She get the chat riled up. She converse. She do her thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As soon as I see her coming, I know what's going on.
I just want to hear her voice one good time. Let me know what she sound like. So if she sound like a rock monster, then I want to know that. If she sound like a beautiful woman, I want to know that too. I'm just playing, Sugar Bum. I love you, baby.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment for me, and like I said, for me to come on
I just say let Sugar Bum rock. Let Sugar Bum, let her do her thing, man.
Yeah, and I get mad sometimes.
A hit dog gonna holler, right? Isn't that what they say? A hit dog gonna holler.
And I get mad when they try to time her out, and after I see it a few times, like, leave her the hell alone.
That would I be like?
I hate when they do that. I really do. I hate when they time her out. It's like, why you timing out Sugar Bum? Is what she's saying really triggering you that much? So you that person that she talk about?
It gotta be. Because that would I be like. They be like time out. I'm like, for what? She ain't doing nothing but Talk her shit.
And the
Yeah, as
guy,
a matter of fact, I think it was on one of the panels. I think it was last year, and I bought Sugar Brum a big wrench, but I told him not to say nothing,
right?
right? Because when I got Sugar Bum the big wrench, then all of a sudden they was like, "Oh, wait a minute, Sugar Bum, she got a big wrench now," and then it didn't even last that long before somebody took it, and I
See,
was like, "Damn."
yep. See, and that's what Fatty said to me. I says it was funny last night. Somebody said you gotta bump OG from the panel, and I'm like, I wish the hell you would drop my ass. I think it was Trinidad and somebody else. I said, I wish the hell you would drop me. Oh, but I know what she's about. And you know what? It's fun to me, and it took me a while to kind of hone in. And I said, a man would do the same damn thing, you know what I mean, Kasim, to a woman. Now, you know that when they start texting and shit, they fall into that. What she's saying, they fall right into that trap.
Hold up,
Yeah.
TC. Zyrex, if you still in the chat room, I would prefer you cam up, but you don't have to cam up. It's not a requirement. So if you want to come up, you can come up. You don't have to cam up. Just don't be doing no little freaky little shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I did. That's what I did on Fatty's one day. I was sitting at the table and I forgot. I didn't have no shirt on. he's
Oh Lord, have
OG,
mercy.
he's like, OG, what you trying to do? And I'm like, oops, I'm sorry.
But no, well, Fed be having his shirt off though.
Yeah. Well, he said, yeah, it's hot there. And he says it's
Yeah, I
hotter
believe.
there than here. And he said in the room that he was in, it don't have air conditioning. So he had to move everything he had in the room that had air conditioning. And I said, I could understand that, but
Yeah, with all those computer equipment, all those
oh
monitors and
man,
stuff, and hard
yeah.
drives. Yeah, I'm sure it's very hot in there.
hmm
Oh yeah,
But I
yeah,
enjoy this, man.
back in the day when I was a rapper, we had one of the bedrooms had all the equipment in there. We had to keep we couldn't have no fan on, no nothing. And this
Wow.
motherfucker in his damn room
Wow.
trying to rap and shit like this. So I can understand why Fatty got his shirt off if that's the case.
Yeah. I tell you what's funny. I know they'll get charged out of this. I'm sitting up here on the panel and my son's like, Dad, I said, hey, you're more than welcome to come up, but you can't come up. You got to make up a name, So I says, he said, I want to send you something. So what he sent me was a selfie of his mother, my ex-wife, So I'm thinking, now let's see what Mrs. OG gonna say, So I clicked it open. I said, hey, look. She's like, oh, that's nice. But there wasn't nothing about it. It wasn't I'm trying to get you or nothing like that. But they have a close relationship with one another, and that makes everything right. I mean, hey, I ain't going nowhere. I'm here for the long haul. Now this girl she's one of a kind. We've been through the easy. Now we're going through the hard, but it's much better when you have somebody working together with you, and it makes it easier for me. I don't have to stress it out. But this is perfect because she's like, anytime I hear you laughing, I know you're having a good time. I said, these guys are something. I said, I want to go back and go back to the old days when I was the OG.
So what do you think? So TC, what do you think is happening? What do you think is going on right now, man, between us old heads and the new guys that are going through their thing in this modern time? What is it that we could do to where the men, young men, old school men, will we all on the same alignment and we all marching to the same beat of the same drum? What do you think that it is we can do to get there, man?
You know what? And I don't want to be long about this, but a long time ago, I went to coaches at school, and I knew that it was predominantly all African American, and I could see, you could tell how these young brothers is just looking, you know what I'm saying, for just to talk, but they really didn't know me like that because I lived in a totally different area. I live around it. So what happened was I had all this change in my ashtray, and they stole every dime,
Damn.
And I brought them all. Yeah, I brought them all in the locker room and set them all down. And I said, look, if you want something from me, all you have to do is ask. You don't have to take anything from me. I'll give you anything you want, a quarter or something. After that, I said to them that if you don't know, ask somebody. Kasim, to this day, one of my players is the superintendent of the schools. I seen him not too long ago, and he says to me, "Hey, coach, you remember this?" And I was like, "What's that?" He says, "If you don't know, you better ask somebody." Look how far he got from being a player to where he is now. But them kids were listening because some of them come from single parent homes and didn't have fathers in the household, you know. So we tried to nurture them through life along with helping them in football. Get this, Ty Law. I don't know if anybody heard of him. Darrell Reeves. They all come from Al Clipper lineage. The guy that the Oakland Raiders just drafted, MJ Devonshire, he's from my high school. So it's that's what impresses me because we took the time to teach them about life and sports. Your family comes first. This comes last. And you have to build along the way. And I was just like, it touched me that one of my players from way back then, and you talk about 1990, could remember what I said. Hey, coach, remember, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. And just for him to tell me that meant that I was a part of his life to where he's gotten to now. And it's just unbelievable. But if they listen, you know, that's a good thing. But like I said, Kasim and Big Dog, some of them's already out there. So the message they're getting is not the message we want to give them, in other words. You know what I'm saying? So what we
Right.
did the other night was perfect. If we stay on that, we'll be good. Because
But see,
he
but
listened.
that's the kicker right there, TC, right? Nowadays, because of all this awesome technology that we have, there's ways for you to get help, right?
Right.
There's ways for you to get on your phone and Google, you know, whatever, and they'll direct you to a certain page or a certain place where you can have easier access to it. It wasn't like how it was back in our day where we had to
Right.
keep coins and stuff in our pockets and dimes, you know, in our pockets to go to the telephone,
That's
to go to
right.
the telephone booth, and you had to have your little notepad with your freaking
Yes.
numbers and stuff on it when you call somebody.
Yep.
Now it's like there's such an advantage that these younger people have when it comes to getting directions or getting knowledge that is at their fingertips, and I don't think that they're fully aware of that or taking advantage of that. What do you think about that, Big Dog?
I think that everybody got a computer in their pocket and they use it for dumb shit.
Right. You're right. Because you know what, Kasim? It's easier for them to just look at it and say, that's too much. That takes too much time. I don't want to do that. Well, we all did the work, and it's different for them because they say, I don't want to read all this stuff. This is just too much. Am I right, Big Dog? They don't have time for that. They want it the easy way.
These kids don't understand what it's like when you got a book report due. And you got to go to the library. You got to go through the card catalog.
Yes.
You got to find the book. You got to go down the aisle. You got to make sure the book in the right spot. You got to get all the information out the book. You got to write everything down and or type everything and all that right there. It's so different now because all you got to do is just Google it on your phone and you can get everything in a matter of seconds on your phone. So it's like the easier technology has gotten, the dumber,
The lazier we become.
we became.
Yep. I agree.
We got better technology, but we done dumbed ourselves down to the technology. So now
Damn it.
Every time we pick up our phone, instead of us trying to find out a way to be a better parent or a business opportunity or something like that, we try to see what's going on Facebook.
Right.
We try to see what's going on TikTok every day. We on social media all day, every day, looking at dumb ass shit, just entertain us, and then we wonder why other countries or other races are ahead of us.
Yep.
And we got all the information right here.
Yeah. But Kasim's right.
Do you think it's just do you think it's just the nature of people that is one of those, you know, things as people where we just want to be entertained and we want an outlet where we can get out of our own lives if we think it's miserable or it's bad. And this gives us an escape to escape our regular lives and get us to a point where, you know, we kind of get away from that, because sometimes our regular lives are miserable, right? And then we need a way to escape from that. So we look for entertainment just to pacify us for a little while, right? But then when the show is over, it's like, damn, now you're going back to the car. Now you got to go back home. Now you got to go back to the real life. You think that has a lot to do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you said, Kasim, everybody reality is not everybody reality ain't the same. Cause like some people got to go up and do 12 hours a day at a job, and when they get off the clock, they got to face another reality where they got to go home, they got to deal with kids, they got to deal with a wife, they got to deal with a husband, they got to deal with bills, they got to deal with this, that, and the third. And when they get in the house, before they get home, they got to go to the corner store, get them a can of beer, go to the liquor store, get them something to drink, call the weed man up, get them something to smoke. and when they walk in the door, they don't want to be bothered.
No. They no, you forgot. They sit in the car for about half an hour, 45 minutes, drinking and getting high. Then they go inside.
Yeah,
and we all did it.
Now that like me, I smoke. I ain't gonna hold you, I smoke weed, but it don't smoke weed to escape reality. I smoke weed because I have a problem going to sleep.
Right.
But when I get high, I can go and go to sleep. Right. That's really why I smoke. But you got a lot of folks that I gotta get high before I go in the house. It's like, why? Because once the high come down, you still gotta face whatever reality you running from.
Yes, absolutely.
You gotta face whenever that high come down, whenever you through being drunk or whatever your drug of choice is, whatever the case may be, you still gotta face reality.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't want to face reality because reality is hard. Life is hard. Life is scary. Life is everything negative, and you don't want to deal with it, but you gotta go through it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go through it if you want to get to something better.
Yeah, but see, they don't want to hear the message that you're saying, though. They figured that they would rather go listen to something else instead of something that gives them knowledge and makes the mind work. You know what I mean?
And TC, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I done said it a couple times now. Like I ain't got time to hold niggas or females' hands when I'm trying to tell them shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gonna do. But when you keep doing the same old shit and you keep getting the same fucked up results, and then you see what I'm doing and what my wife doing, what my kids doing, and you see we progressing in life, don't ask me then how y'all do this, that, and the third. Right. I told you that 5 years ago. What the plan was. You didn't want to listen. That's just like some of my partners. When I started doing investing in stocks and crypto and everything, I was telling them what I was investing in and telling them what I was doing. And I'm doing it for the long term. I ain't doing nothing, no get rich quick. I ain't trying to find something, make a couple $1 right fast. I'm like, I'm doing it long term. You know what I'm saying? They looking at me like, man, I can't do that long term. I need my money right then. And I'm like, what you gonna do? You gonna play DraftKings? You gonna bet $1,000 on baseball and basketball games, and then when you don't win, you mad? I'm like, at least with the stock market, I mean, it's a gamble still, but at least I ain't gonna lose all my money in one play.
Right.
Unless I just do some fucked up research and just put money in spots where I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, but
that's why I like working for the company. I work for the Aluminum Company of America. Everybody heard of Alcoa. They make aluminum foil.
Yeah.
And when I started there, they invested my money then, right? So I'm working. You know me. I forgot all about that, but I had the money invested and everything. When I left, I looked at that and I'm like, God damn, all this damn money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but you know what that money helped? Helped me pay for my son's tuition in college. That's all I wanted was to make sure he was good. If I was, big dog, if I was broke, I could care less because I knew what I wanted to do. And that's one of the things that I wanted to do. And then my ex helped me, and together we put him through college. He graduated with a degree in he went to the Duquesne School of Music, and he's a piano player.
Wow,
and he plays classical music. He don't get into that. So what he does now is he tutors the kids that don't have money for free, and the ones that can pay, the parents can pay, he makes them pay, charges them. And that's what I said. Just give back like I gave back. And I could be more pleased with him. That's what you're supposed to do, is to give back. Because you never know, one of them damn kids might be a Quincy Jones. You don't know, but you can give him a start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what he does. He tutors in his spare time when he ain't working. But he just won't get away from that. Dad, what's your body count? I said, what the hell does that matter? My body count. If I told you 50.
What does he want? What does he want to? Is he asking you that? Is he asking you that because he want to be like you, or he want to try to outbody you or something? Like he was a competition? Like, did you ever ask him that?
No, he was listening to the panel. He'd be in the clouds.
Oh, okay. He was being sarcastic.
Why do you damn girls worrying about a man's body count? And then if they say something, then they get on him. So that's funny because he said once the brother says how many, then you're gonna take scrutiny. So I'm like, oh, they do it just out of fun. They
Anybody ask me what my body count is, I'm gonna say 6. That's my body count. 6.
6.
6. That's my body count. 6. I'm gonna do what they say women do. I'm not gonna count all the random one night stands and everything. I'm just gonna count the ones that mean something. So 6.
Right.
That's my body.
Okay.
Count.
Right.
And the ones you've been in a relationship for longer than what? 2 years? A year?
Yeah, that's 6, including my wife.
6.
That's 6.
Okay.
Now the rest of them, I ain't take claim for the rest of them.
Yeah, that's wild. But I think having conversation like this, it means a lot because there's something that we don't focus on. All I hear is, what's the solution? What's the solution? Well, if you guys quit talking about foolishness, maybe we can get the solution. But somebody always trying to crash the conversation that you try to have a solution or come to agreement. It seems to go off script. And then we forget all about it because somebody done took us out of our train of thought. You know what I'm saying? You see that happen before, Big Dog, where you be talking about something and somebody's like, what the hell are we doing here? And then when you think about it, well, damn, man, we didn't even get to talk about the subject.
TC, when I be on some of these panels, I be quiet because I don't even know what direction the conversation will go. When it's something I want to talk about, I say my piece and I be quiet. I don't like. I got my own channel to talk the shit I want to talk. Put it like that. When I'm on somebody else's panel, I try to practice proper etiquette. I be quiet. I let people say what they gotta say. I say what I need to say, and I shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to try to divert the conversation somewhere narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're talking about relationships, everybody got their own idea of what they want in a relationship. And everybody got their idea how they're gonna deal with men. They got their idea how they're gonna deal with women. So who am I to try to steer the conversation to my idea when I know everybody? It's 10 people on the panel. Everybody got their own version of the truth.
Yeah,
it's just my version. So like when I hear the conversation now from the men when it just far dating, I look at it like, you don't want to spend no money. That's cool. I don't advise you to spend money stupid on no women.
Right.
So, but if you gonna date, you gotta spend some money.
You gotta spend some money. There's no way around it.
No way around it. Yep. So, just like the other day when I was talking about money, when I hear coffee dates, coffee is expensive.
Yes.
Coffee is expensive. Like me and my wife by ourselves, we can go to Starbucks right now. I know I'm gonna spend $20. Easy
out the gate.
That's Starbucks. So if you're talking about taking a female to Starbucks for a coffee date just to see if she like you or not, I'm like, you might as well spend another $10, $20 and take her to a nice restaurant.
Right. Yeah. Because she's used to that, especially here in New York, man. Come on, bro. Starbucks? Yeah. Oh, hell no. No. She want to be on some damn rooftop, some damn where, overlooking the skyline and the World Trade Center, or she gonna be at a restaurant cafe on a sidewalk with umbrellas and French-speaking waiters. Okay? It's just no way around it. All you gotta do is like, okay, this is what I'm up against in the competition here, then I know what I'm up against. Now I got to do some work to get there. It's just it's just as simple as that, and that's the freaking bottom line. It's like you going into the Louis Vuitton store, right? And you going in there and you looking at the daggone prices, and they don't discount.
Right.
Okay, so what you do is like, okay, this freaking coat right here cost me, 3 racks. I'm gonna go and save up those 3 racks, and I'm gonna walk up in here like I always had it and buy it immediately. Like, yeah, let me get that.
Right.
But they don't know I had to save up 3 racks behind it in order to walk up in here to be like this. Right. So it's like, yeah, you see the cost of entry. It's either you got it, cool. If not, then you go get it and then come back and act like you always had it.
Right.
Yeah.
I always said if you have to ask how much, it means you can't afford it.
So that's what I be seeing most time when they talking about just the dating conversation, is that some, like Kasim just said, a lot of these women are used to good shit before you even get to them. So when you get to them and you're gonna put your Mac down or whatever the case may be, and she might like what you saying, she ain't gonna want to go no Starbucks every time y'all go on no damn date. She don't want to do that. She gonna want to go somewhere like Kasim said, with the French waiter speaking real nice shit, popping 20-year-old bottles of wine and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? She want to eat some shit she know. Like, I don't want to take her to Five Guys all the motherfucking time.
Right.
You know, I don't want to go to McDonald's. She want to go somewhere where market price on the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, if you look at that menu, big dog, and it says market price, and you flinch, you're not supposed to be there.
You ain't supposed to be there.
Yep. Right.
I like for Mother's Day, and my wife's birthday were 2 days, it was like a couple days apart, and we went to the Jamaican spot, and she wanted some oxtails, and they had market price on there, and I'm like, you know what? It's Mother's Day, it's your birthday. I don't give a damn. Go on, get the oxtail. I don't care how much they cost. It's your day. You know what I'm saying? Just so having they cost about $30. I said that ain't too bad. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need more damage going somewhere else. I just spent $50-$60 on the plate for you by yourself somewhere else. $30 for some oxtails. I'm like, that ain't bad. But if you see this shit and you see market, like you said, if you see market price, like, damn. Oh, bro, you don't need to be there. If you gotta say, damn. But that just stay in your price range. Like it took me 8 years, me and my wife together, 8 years to get to where I was able to take her to 5-star restaurants.
Yes.
Now we were eating, like we'll go like every so while we'll go to Red Lobster or something like that. Red Lobster ain't that expensive. It took us 8 years to get our money right to where I was like, you know what, let's go to this big boy restaurant we've been seeing all the time. Let's see what they're talking about. And we go up in there, and you know, what you're really paying for is the atmosphere, the ambiance.
The ambiance,
You pay that what you're paying for. And I'm like, man, I like that, so I'll go back. My tickets now, like when me and her go out, I done seen my ticket get up to $350, $400 just on me and her. And I don't even flinch. I be like, well, you know, but at the same time, I'm like, I just spent $400 on groceries. You can go there and cook some too. You know?
Yeah.
Right. But sometimes, look, big dog, man, sometimes you gotta give him that experience.
Right.
Right. You have to give them that experience every now and then, because when they got with you, they're like, okay, I'm hoping if I get with this guy, my life is going to get better in some type of capacity, either in lifestyle or whether his intelligence, his intellect. My life is going to get better it should get better. And every once in a while, damn it, I want to have some freaking experiences, because I've done it before. I've seen it, and you know, they're women. Right. So I think if men kind of understood that and not look at it as a challenge and not wanting to be cheap, getting something for nothing, right? I think if they had that different type of mindset, you know, they'll get better outcomes. They won't be as frustrated, man, because in all honesty, you know, relationships are transactional, and they freaking should be. I'm doing something I'm doing something for you because I'm expecting you to do something for me, and you doing something for me because you're expecting me to do something for you. That's how it should be. If it wasn't like that, can you imagine how messed up everything would be even worse?
Kasim, I remember one girl that I was dating before my wife, and I told her that I said, man, I look at relationship like business. And she looked at me, she was like, why would you say you don't do things for me because you like me? And I'm like, I do like you, but at
No.
the same time, I'm spending my money.
Right.
I work hard for this money. I'm spending my money. And I'm always like, every man should have a stupid tax.
Right.
Which means once you get to this limit,
Mm-hmm.
it's on you how much more you're gonna go over for this
Right.
woman. When I
Yes.
was younger, my stupid tax was like $200.
Mhm.
Once I got to $200, if I didn't get what I want out of this woman, either A, I'm gonna cut my losses and go on back somewhere else, or I'm gonna go over the stupid tax because I really like this woman.
Right.
Yeah.
If a lot of men will set a stupid tax on themselves, they wouldn't
Mhm.
feel bad.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
Would be broke.
as a man that like women, you gonna do some stupid ass shit for a
Mhm.
woman.
Right.
Yes.
A lot of that stupid shit you do is involving money.
Yeah.
So if you just set your own stupid budget, like you already know you're gonna crash out for a woman in some shape, form, or fashion, it's gonna be involving money. Might as well set a budget on how much you're gonna spend.
Right.
Yeah.
So therefore, once you reach that budget, you already knew you were gonna spend whatever you were gonna spend. Now it's like once I done spent this, if I ain't getting what I want, now it's like I can bag out and say, well, you know what, things didn't go the way I wanted to go. I had fun, but you're not the one for me. Whatever lie you gotta tell her so you can get out there, motherfucker. Or
Mhm.
you spend a little bit more and say, I'm trying to see where it's going. It's like investment. It's like investing in
Right.
the stock market.
Yeah.
Either you're gonna invest and pull out when things get bad, or you're gonna keep investing because it might grow into something better down the long run. Like I said, a lot of like when a lot of men be talking about the worst of the worst, the baby mama, the hood rats, and all that right there. I'm the type that I say I'll go to the projects and find a diamond in the rough.
Right.
While y'all
Yeah.
sit up here and you judging them, I'm like, man, you know how many good women are in the projects.
Mhm.
All you gotta do is to do a little something for them, and they'll cook, they'll clean, they'll do all the shit you want them to do, and all you had to do was just take them to an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, instead of y'all want to go try to find Kim Kardashian
Yeah.
or somebody like that, where you gonna go broke and ain't no guarantee on shit, go now and get something that's undervalued.
Mhm.
Get something that's undervalued. Get something that everybody running from. Like that's what the good women there where everybody
Yeah.
running from.
I
Yeah.
said that before, but with Kasim, we were talking about that on that panel. How it ain't about on the outside; it's what's on the inside. But you don't see past that, and then you end up, well, man, I should stay with her. But why did you change? You know what I'm saying? That's what we were talking about.
Because you want something that look like you want something to make other niggas jealous of.
Right.
Yes.
That's all it is. You want a woman on your arm to make other niggas jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And then go ahead and say.
No, but when you said with that stupid tax, I think every man, like if you out here in the trenches and stuff like that, every man has a stupid tax, right? And that tax is higher depending upon how fine she look, right? If you out and about somewhere and you at, I don't know, you out, let's say you out here in Brooklyn, right? You out here Brooklyn, Prospect Park, and you know they have like the free concerts. You know, there's this band up there, you know, and it's all mixes of people, and you see this damn girl, right? She next to you, you know, she got her little dress on, and she jamming to the music, and y'all just strike up a conversation, and then boom, you know, you ask her like, listen, you know, I love to see you again. You know, here, you know, put your number in there, and you get the number, and then she agreed to meet with you on a date. You already have in your mind like, okay, this girl is fine as hell. So I had a particular budget, how much I'm going to spend, but now I'm going to up that a little bit because of her physical attractiveness, right? And then it's like, okay, I'm ready to spend this amount of money to mess it up. All she got to do is act a certain way to mess that up,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I think pretty much all men have that because, you know, we suckers for a pretty face. Some of
Mhm.
us, sucker for a pretty face and a fat ass and all the rest of the stuff. And we do that based upon a level of attractiveness. We will go above and beyond our little budget that we got because of the attractiveness of this girl. And I'm just always a big believer that if you take a woman out, you should pay,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
then if you've done your research about the restaurant already, you know what the prices are, so you have that budget in your mind. And what I do is when the bill come, I just take my card. I don't even look at the bill. I just take my card,
Yeah.
put it on there, or I'll take my card out my wallet, and I see the waiter coming. I'll boom, just like I'm still talking to baby girl. I'm still talking, and like boom,
Right.
don't even look at it. Get the bill, just sign it, and let's go.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
That shows confidence. That shows security. That shows like, damn, like, you know what, he doesn't seem to be worried about anything, right? He's not making me pay because he's making it blatantly obvious,
Right.
that he's taking care of this. And I like that. And they're going to gravitate to that, So, yeah, everybody got a stupid tax, man, especially when it comes to them pretty girls.
Everybody got that. Every man I know got a stupid text. Every man I know got a stupid text.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was always low key though. That's why I always roll. And my sister say, well, you got that BMW, you know what comes with that. But being me, I ain't thinking, So I pulled up at this damn club and I forget who I was with. And I closed the door and one of them come over and she said, is this yours? And my partner say, where you at? He's like, hell yeah, it's his. And he said, why are you asking? She's trying to be hanging with me all. I'm like, I knew what the deal was. See, I ain't that stupid because I knew where she was coming from. I knew what kind of headspace she was in. And I'm like, oh, I don't want. He's like, man, why did you? I was like, see, you don't study. You got to study. And then you'll see where she's coming from. Just to come up and ask me if I own this vehicle, that tells you something. What do you mean by that? I'm like, I'll tell you what. You stick with that, you're gonna end up broke because I see where she's coming from. I want something. I want you to do something for me because of what I have, material things. See, and then when I just said, "Well, look, I have enough. Let's go," he's talking about, "No, man." I'm like, "Man, let's go." And then I talked to him afterwards. We were sitting there talking, He said, I didn't even think about that. I said, man, he should kind of leave you out there wandering the streets.
Damn
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right. And some people, like we're saying, it's a stupid thing, but I read it because when I pulled up, I knew what the deal was. I seen them all out there standing around. She just blatantly walked up right out in the open. You own this? I'm looking like, what the hell is she talking about? But then the light clicked on. I'm like, oh, I see where she's coming from now. Just because you got this, you got to have money. That's not always the case. See, but that's what she thought. Shit, I wasn't making that much money then. But then again, like the Steve said, you got to do your homework. Make sure your structure is sound when you're moving. And that's where a lot of dudes mess up. The structure ain't right. They ain't moving right. And they're thinking the wrong way. And that's the thing. You got to use that head to know where they're coming from. And I was always a cerebral dude like that. Like I said, I wasn't out there just being like I'm him and all that. I always roll low key, but I didn't go for them fine chicks. I said, look, I ain't doing this. I know there's somebody in between that I could deal with. And that's how I met my ex-wife. I didn't have all that. And to me, she was fine. I'm like, damn, I don't know, but I'm gonna take a shot. And it landed me 10 years? So I was good. I was good. But I got rid of all that material shit though. I got rid of all that shit. I was like, I don't need this no more. I'm not trying to do this and be all that. And it worked out perfectly with her. It worked out perfectly.
But do you guys believe that men should lead with their wallet and lead with their best attributes? Do y'all believe that?
Oh man, I never did that. That was a danger for me.
Yeah, I'm like TC. I don't believe in leading with your wallet, but I believe
Mm-mm.
in leading with your best attribute.
Yes, absolutely.
But what if your best attribute is money? Right.
That's your
What if you got no swag, you got no charisma, you're a little bit socially awkward, you're quiet, you don't know how to interact, but damn it, you got you got a couple commas in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like the live I did a couple of days ago talking about dating 6-figure men.
Mm-hmm.
And some 6-figure men that make 6 figures, they ain't worth 6 figures.
No.
So they go back to, like I was saying, if you 16-year-old and you making $1,000 a month, you stacking your money between 16 and 21, you should have at least $30,000 in the bank by 21. That's a go in. And I'm like what you saying, that's your best attribute is your money. Then the thing is, a lot of females ain't gonna talk to you because you ain't got no swag, but you got the money.
Right.
So now you got that business sense to where you could pick and choose what female you really want at 21 with $30,000 in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And but see, if that's all you got, then that's all you got. But you got to be smart with it, because if you got 30,000 at 21 and you get up with a female that want to go spin, and you date her, then you can lose that 30,000 quick fast.
Quick as hell.
Yeah.
In a matter of months, it can
In a
go
matter
quick
of
as
months.
hell.
You can lose that 30,000 fast. So it's like, if that's all I got, then I got to be real smart. So I got to, try to see what she really about, and maybe I'll break her off some of this slowly,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
not all at one time.
Ration it off a little bit, siphon it off a little bit.
I might take if I say let's go to the park, you want to go to the park, you ain't got no problem going to the park. We have a good time. Like I always believed in working your way up with dating me.
Yes.
Right. Having qualifiers to next levels,
I got
right?
qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
So like I ain't gonna hold you. I did a lot of flirting in my last job. And what it was that a lot of women would see on my Facebook, me taking my wife to big boy restaurants and shit like that. And they were like, I wish you take me to Ruth Chris or something like this. I'm like, little mom, I'm gonna take your ass to the corner store and get a pizza. Why I gotta get a pizza from the corner store? I don't know you.
That's right.
Chester fried chicken, right?
Exactly.
You get little chicken breast in the little paper bag.
That's
right.
One of those 25-cent juices.
Some rag balloon or some shit like that. I don't know you. Just spend all my money on you.
Yep.
I know you enough that I like what I see in your conversation. All right, but that don't mean you always finna go get no $200 meal off me either. Though.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna start at the bottom. If you cool with starting at the bottom and work your way up, then we on to something. But just because of the simple fact you see me taking my wife somewhere, that's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I be foolish not to take my wife somewhere nice.
Yeah.
She done been with me for I don't know how long. You think I'm not gonna take her somewhere nice? Now you on the other hand, you want to go somewhere nice because you ain't never been nowhere nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that sucker. I'm gonna take your ass to the corner store, get you a jungle juice, a bag of Takis, and a Black and Mild, and jump in this motherfucking car.
Yeah.
And they look at me
that's
like they look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, damn, you really like that? I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know you enough to blow money on you like that.
But then again, now you got to think on his end, Kasim, when they see that, and if they with a man, it's like, how come my man don't do that?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I done heard that.
Oh yeah, they definitely comparing, because that's all they do.
Yes.
They're comparing, the experiences from different men, right?
Yes.
Whether it's financially, whether it's mentally, whether it's sexually.
Yes.
Right? They want to test the water. They want to see if you can hit it like Rashid did, like not too long ago. Right? And if you don't hit it like Rashid hit it, then you disqualified. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna talk about you like a dog. That's all it is. They're comparing with various experiences, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know me. I was always talking shit to them when they get to comparing. I'm like, didn't nobody tell you to pick that broke ass nigga?
Right.
You picked him for whatever reason you picked him.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw, just like I say a lot of times, that both men and women, me and you had this conversation before, we seen about the red flags.
Yeah.
we see the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him and you'll sit there and say, that don't bother me. Oh, it ain't nothing. Yeah. And then you get with this man, you get with this woman, and all the red flags start bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
But you done put so much time into this relationship. It's like, I don't want to leave this woman alone. I don't want to leave this man alone, but I like what you doing.
Right.
Like, you can't.
But that's the thing, though, big dog. It's like nobody. You cannot turn a red flag green just by having sex with it.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
we have that conceptualization, man. Listen, I see you a whole lot of trouble. I see you a whole lot of mouth and hands. You know what I'm saying? I can see you a whole lot of bad attitude. But man, if I hit that bottom,
Yep.
You might turn.
Yep.
You
Yep.
might
I'm
turn.
gonna turn this red flag green.
Yes.
Nah,
Hell no. Ain't happening.
nah, that not gonna happen. Because
Uh-uh.
that's one thing all my ex told me was that you with the shit. You a walking red flag. I'm like, you know that. You know that. I'm a walking red flag. I'm
Yep.
with the shit. And I look at him like, but the sex good, ain't it? They like, yeah, you good with that shit. If you ain't good at shit else, you good with sex. I'm like, I know that. That's why you fuck with me like you fuck with me. 'Cause I do
Yes. She
some free
she
ass
trying to
shit.
turn that red flag green,
Yep.
and that damn flag flying high as hell.
Yep.
So
That
they,
damn
like I
phone
said,
going up. Yep.
you'll see the red flags. You'll see the shit. And then, like you said, you want, if I hit the bottom, she'll change. No, she ain't. She'll
Mm-mm.
probably stop what she's doing for a little bit, but it's gonna come back around.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
It's gonna come back around. And then you
Mhm.
gonna feel like, damn, I gotta do it again, nigga. Yes, you gotta do it again. You probably have to do some more behind that because that
Yep.
red flag ain't turning green no time soon.
No.
No
Ain't,
time.
ain't that something, man? All three of us had so many experiences. It ain't funny. That ain't no shit. But like I said, I was always low key. If I was gonna do something, I already had it planned out. I'm gonna park my car somewhere. I'm gonna get in this girl's car, and I'm gone. These niggas be running around like, where the hell was you at? But then that's the thing. I always kept my circle small because if I said something, you know damn well it's gonna get out sooner or later, you know. Hey man, you know where he messed around with who, you know.
But you know what, Top Cat? That was one of my tricks. Is that
Yes.
I will get in my car and I'll go park it over one of my partner's house and I'll call a female like come over to my partner's house and pick me up.
Yes.
And they always be like, why we don't never drive in your car? I'm like, man, I can't be seen with you in my car.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I can't be seen with you in
Yeah,
my car.
man. Yep. Everywhere we went.
I'm in
She
her
was-
car.
Yes. Everywhere we went, she said, you want to drive? And I said, yeah. But when I would drive, she would sit real low in the seat, see? You know how they get comfortable in that passenger side seat and they sit down with their legs crossed and bullshit, you know? So we get over to her house. Yeah, no money was exchanged because we knew one another. We knew what the deal was. In other words, before we got together, you knew it was just a smash thing, and that's all going to be. No money changing hands, and that's the way I would roll. You know, it's like how you picked them. You know, sooner or later you're going to take a L. I mean, that's the life that's going to happen. But that's the way it always was. And my mother would always say, "Why you want to be with so many girls and all that?" I said, "They said variety is the spice of life. You know, you got." they didn't understand, you know. Yeah, but ain't this one? It's another one. so, so I'm like, I'm just trying to test the waters out to see what's more comfortable for me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be taking all the L's like the rest of them brothers be crying, talking about she left me and shit. Like, well, what'd you do? You know, and then they sitting there and just talking and listening to them like, man, you rolling the wrong way, man. If you knew the girl wasn't going to be for you and all that, don't put yourself out there like that, going out there buying this. I just bought it. That's where your mistake was. You got to feel her out first before you be getting in your pockets because once she sees that, what do you think she's going to be doing?
Yeah.
Use
Woman
damn
go
mo-
woman.
Yep.
You know, women are gonna be women, and I tell my boys all the time, like it's always like a closing statement after every time we hang up. We say, be mindful of your money, your energy, your attention, and your time.
Right.
And before we hang up, we all say it together. Be mindful of your money, your energy, your attention, and your time, because
Mhm.
that's the commodity that we have that people will exploit, right? And
Right.
and particularly women will exploit all of those things. You have to be mindful of those things when you're out here dating. How much money you spending? How much energy are you giving to this thing? Is she not reciprocating, right? How much attention are you giving her? You giving her too much attention, and she ain't doing that. If you giving her majority of your time and she's not reciprocating, you gotta really be
Mhm.
mindful of that. And I think being mindful of that helps you to minimize so many mistakes and wasting time and overspending in all of those categories.
Yeah.
But
That's wild.
but with that being said, though, Kasim, is that the reason why a lot of these younger men crash out so fast?
Oh yeah.
Because they do too much too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have boundaries of what they want to tolerate, but they overextend.
Right.
If a woman is being too slick at the mouth, or she's doing XYZ, and she's causing you to do out of your normal thing, they're overextending themselves. And then when the trap falls on them,
Yep.
they wonder, like, what the hell happened? It's like, no, fam, you overextended yourself, because a woman, it's hard for a woman to turn down a good time.
Mhm.
And she's not gonna stop you. If she's having a good time, she's not gonna stop you.
No,
If you doing all these things for her and you taking her this, you showing her all these experiences, you think she's gonna stop to, like, you know what, I'm tired of going on all these damn trips. I'm tired of going to these damn restaurants. Like,
Hell
no,
she ain't gonna tell you no.
Uh-uh.
she's not gonna stop. She is not gonna stop. She's not gonna stop and tell you, like, look, man, I'm having too many good times. You need to stop it.
She
Yeah.
ain't gonna tell you no.
No, hell no.
No.
You know what I always said? I always said, when the brother talks, whatever comes out of her mouth, you know where you want to be with her or not. As soon as you open your mouth, you'll know. And just having
Mhm.
that conversation, like we were saying the other day, Casino, about communication. But the one thing that's on a lot of brothers' minds is just smashing. Yeah, but make sure you communicate the situation before you get into that. Make sure you have an agreement, like, look, ain't gonna be nothing more than this. And then what happens is they fall, oh man, this is so good, I gotta keep going back, but yet she wants you to keep doing. And then you fall in that, you know what I mean? You fall in that damn trap. You thinking after the dust cleared, what the hell happened,
But that
Mhm.
go to what I be saying about a lot of these guys be want to turn one night stands to long-term relationships.
Yes. Yes.
Because like you go in with that whole mind frame of like it ain't gonna be nothing but a one night stand. That's all it's
Mhm.
gonna be. It did that and the third, but then it be good.
She
Mhm.
give you that Gawk 3000.
Right? She give you everything, and you stuck, and you be like, man, I don't want to let this go because it's so good.
Yes.
Mhm.
So now you finna start patting your pockets and starting to see
Yeah.
what I can do to help
Yeah.
your situation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You start spending more. You start spending more money. You
Mhm.
start giving her more of your energy. You start giving her. You got started giving her more attention, liking this and liking that. And then you start giving her more of your time.
Mhm. I'm telling you.
And then look, and then forgot that it wasn't nothing but a one night stand.
One night
Yep.
stand. That's all it was.
She got plenty of dudes in the phone.
Yeah.
And you mad every time the phone rings, she
Yes.
call me
Yeah.
back. Who
Damn
is
it.
that? That's my auntie. Why you gotta whisper to your auntie?
Mhm.
Mhm.
You forgot because that gawk was so good, that box was
Yeah.
so good and warm, and you patting your pockets. You want to buy her groceries, you want to give her money on the light bill, you want to pay her car note and all that. You patting your pockets every time you get around. I got a couple of dollars for you, and you forgot that was a one night stand.
Yeah.
That's
You forgot.
wild. Ain't it wild though when we up here talking? Cause I was over at my ex's house and I met her, and she kept telling me about this dude in Georgia. His name was Elwood, So I knock on the door, come in, and she's like, "Well, hold on." I'm like, "Oh, that's your mother." She said, "No, that's Elwood." So she hung up and explained to me who the dude was. I said, "Oh, if it's like that, I'll just go." Now get this. I walked out of that door. I was getting on my motorcycle to the parking lot. She running across. She ran across the grass and said, "Oh, wait a minute. where you going? I said, no, I got to go. I ain't, you know, I don't want to get into all that. Man, let me tell you something. My phone was blowing up at home, but I think that she knew then that there was something about me that was different. She wouldn't have come across there chasing me out in that parking lot. She just said, I'm gonna just let him go ahead and go. After that, I'm like, you know what? I got her. Is what I thought in my first mind. I got her. Man, every other night I went over there, she wasn't on that damn telephone. So I'm like,
Damn it.
you know what I'm saying? So you gotta leave something.
Yeah.
And I think what got her was I didn't make a big deal about, you know, who she was on the phone with, like hang up and all that shit. I'm here.
Yeah.
No. I just said, no, go ahead. I'm cool. I said, I'll see you another time. Man, she hung that damn phone up, come running out there. I'm like, what's the matter? She's like, shut that thing off. I can't hear. So I'm like, what's the matter? I'll just go and go home. No, I don't want you to go home. I want you to, I got to go to work tomorrow. Don't you know? I must have been on that phone with her for 2 hours talking.
Damn it.
Wanted me to come back. I'm like, no, I'm good. Hey, Casino, next damn day, she's banging on my door at my apartment. Next day, as soon as I got home from work. Man, hey, won't you come on? I want you to meet my mother. I'm like, huh? That I knew then that, you know what, I got her locked in there. So after that, you know, we dated a while and we ended up getting married, man. And you know what? You know how we say that we gotta, you know, man gotta make, no, you don't have to make a woman be submissive because she knew she cooked, she didn't complain, she didn't say anything. You know, it's not like, why don't you fix me something to eat? Oh no, they're asking you, you want something to eat? What can I fix you? You want something? And that's the way it was. Today, they ain't asking none of that shit today, man. They're just like, you could go get it yourself. You know, and you know me, big dog. I know your wife be cooking. You ain't gotta say nothing. She gonna be cooking. You know what I'm saying?
When me and my wife first started dating, I told her, because she used to always go out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her the first time I spent the night over her house, I looked in her refrigerator, wasn't nothing in the refrigerator. And I was like, hey, I know you like going out all the time. I said, but you dealing with a country boy right about now. You gonna have to cook something. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to cook something. She was like, okay. The first meal my wife ever made for me was hamburger helper and Jiffy Mix. And
Damn, that's what's up.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it because as I told you, this is you dealing with somebody that, you know, I ain't got no problem going there, but I also know like I ain't got no money all the time.
Right.
We gotta have some food in the refrigerator to cook, you know what I'm saying? So when she went in there and cooked that food, I said, I'm gonna eat it because I told you I want something to cook. And ever since then, she watched Food Network. She like, baby, look at this. I got a new recipe I want to try. I'm like, well, go on try it. I said, you know what it is? If me and your son don't like it, you know, because we ain't gonna eat this shit. So, but yeah, she don't cook all the time. Like I cook my son to cook, you know what I'm saying? So everybody in the house cook. But she will cook like when we want something, like we want a real dinner, she'll go in there and cook. Like just some regular shit. Like I can cook steak. You know, I cook a lot of steaks and spaghettis. I just cooked chicken pizza last night. So I can cook a lot of meat. But if we want a real dinner with a couple of an entree and some sides, she gonna go do that.
Oh yeah,
she gonna go do
Let
that.
me ask you this though, big dog. If she doesn't know how to cook and she don't cook, would that be a red flag?
Like in my own personal experience, when we had that conversation, she didn't cook. Even though she was raised by her grandmama cooked all the time. So when she told me that, I'm like, well, you know something because you seen your grandmama cook. So just by me, like, just cook, just do something. Like if it's good, I'm gonna eat it. If it ain't good, I ain't gonna eat it. So like I said, she started off with the hamburger helper and Jiffy Mix. And I said, it's good. They let me know you can read directions. You know what I'm saying? So now the one time when she wanted to do something big, we went to the grocery store. She said, I'm gonna make a gumbo. I said, okay, you step up there, go on, make the gumbo. He got the bag that just had the rice in it, I think, but it had all the gumbo on the bag. So she just got the little bag and said, I'm gonna go home and make the gumbo for you. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, you know all the ingredients ain't in that bag, right? She like, yes, it is. I'm like, no, that's just part of the ingredient. So you gotta go get the meat and the vegetables and all the other shit too. She looking at me like, how you know? I said, I'm a big nigga. Of course I know. You gonna have to cook. You know what I'm saying? So, but I look at it like this with all the technology again. If a woman can't work an air fryer, that just being lazy.
Right.
That's where we at now. Air fryer.
Yep.
If you can't work, if you lazy, you that lazy that you can't work the air fryer, we got a problem. We got a problem. That let me know that when I'm not here, your ass starved. Because you don't know how to work the air fryer.
So basically, she might not be like Julia Childs in the kitchen, right? But as long as she has the willingness, she good.
Yeah, because we got this in our hand. There's nothing stopping you from going to find a recipe and learn how to cook. That's not that hard. My son do it, and he be 17 that week. He made a grilled cheese that tastes better than any grilled cheese I ever had before. And I'm like, where you get it from? I found it on Google. So we have the recipes at our hands. It's just that you don't want to go do it. You don't even want to feed yourself unless you spending more money on Uber than you do going to the grocery store. Just because you don't want to go in there for 20, 30 minutes and make you something eat and probably have leftovers. You'd rather spend $50 on Uber and they probably fuck up your order.
Right.
And you gave him a big ass tip.
And you gave him a tip.
Mm-hmm.
And they fuck up your order.
But at least she made the attempt to read the direction, and she made the attempt, though, didn't argue when you said, okay, you need these ingredients. She went and got the ingredients and went there. And that's how you know they paying attention. You know what I mean? And she's on board with doing that. And a lot of women today, they don't, you know, Mrs. OG, she always want to buy all this shit. I'm like, you ain't going to use it. You got goddamn 2 air fryers. You end up giving one away to your daughter. And then she tests it out. Next thing I know, she put the damn thing in the corner like, when you going to use it? You know, but she can cook. You know, when she cooked for me, she's like, what do you like to eat? I said, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn, you know. Man, I sit down at that damn table. I said, damn, she cooked like my mother. Let's keep her here, you know. And every day, you know, she cooks, you know, what do you want? You know, she just fixed me, not no gumbo, but something else. Had rice and sausage in it and some vegetables and shit. Mrs. OG can put it down when she wants to, you know, but I'm like, damn, you know, when I met you, you had big butt and big size. Now you're losing everything.
Damn.
You know, now it's like when you get older, she used to complain about, you think my thighs are too big. I ain't worried about all that. You know, I mean, you get older, you're going to lose all that. And then she look at me, you know, I'm like, damn, you're 150 pounds. That ain't much. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't like all this. I said, what else looking at you but me? You know, anybody worry about you. You're 60 damn 3 years old. They ain't worried about your old ass shit. You know, and that's the thing, you know, I love about it because, you know, we'll talk and something and she'll talk about you guys on the panel and everything. As I like this one and what's his name? Big Dog. I said, yeah, Kasim's on there, you know. She said, why don't they listen to these guys? I looked at her like, seriously? They don't pay attention. They ain't into that until a crisis hits and then they come looking for you. Man, y'all didn't say that. Man, we try to give you the goddamn blueprint. You don't want to pay attention.
Yeah.
They give you the blueprint and you know how they are.
Well, I know my wife. My wife love fatty.
Oh yeah, he's something.
She love fatty. She's like she used to like Angry Man, but I don't know what happened between that. She stopped liking Angry Man anymore, but she love fatty.
Yeah, she talks about. She heard YouTube. She heard Kasim the other night when we were on that panel, and she's looking at me and she's like, why he's so quiet? I said, because when he opens his mouth, They're not going to do that because he's coming from a different space. Just like you, big dog. We all coming from a different space, and some of them don't want to hear that shit. And it's the truth. Only thing you're giving them is you're giving them a blueprint about life, about what we've been through. But we're not saying that you got to do like us, do like you, but you got to have a structure in the way you do it. That's all
Yeah,
we're saying.
that's it.
Ain't nobody forcing them to do it. But by us telling them, by us mentioning it, they think we're trying to tell them. We ain't gonna try to tell you. We're just trying to explain to you how to go about doing things
Mhm.
so you don't
Be
get your
more
ass
be
hurt.
more efficient, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you know, I think
That's
I think as men we want to see each other win.
Mhm.
Right. I'm not on no hating thing and I'm trying to
Mhm.
keep you down. Like, no, as I want to see you win. Right.
Right.
Because if I help you win by default, it's going to help me in some certain way. Right.
Right.
Whether I see it or whether I don't see it, but by default, if my heart is in the right place and it's coming from a good, genuine place, then I help humanity. Right. And I
Mhm.
help cause more harmony because you're going to be more than willing to do the right thing to get a better result. So we all win as people. And that's where my mind is at. But
But that's
listen, I'm starving. I'm
Go
gonna go
ahead.
ahead and grab me something to eat. If y'all still on here, I might come back on if I don't get nothing else. But keep it going, man.
I don't
I
know. I don't know how long you gonna be on here. How long you gonna be on here, brother? Unless you
I
gotta
don't know.
go.
Bro. I'm hungry my damn self.
Well, go ahead. We could pick up later. It ain't no problem.
Oh, that's cool. I appreciate y'all coming through. You know,
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Be good, man.
I can say my hollage.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. Yeah, man. We could pick up later. Ain't no big deal. I'm good.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
black
man.
ass is retired, man. I'm retired. I ain't got a damn thing to do but to sit up there and get some damn knowledge. Shit.
Yeah, my stomach touching my back right now.
All right, brother.
But shit, I appreciate you coming through, Kasim. I wish the Sugar Bum and Zyrax would have came up here, but I guess they ain't want to come up here, but it's cool. I might come back on a little later. I don't know. I got
Yeah, I'll check you out. I'll check you out.
Well, all right, Top Cat. I'll holler at you later.
All right, brother. You take
All
care.
right.
All right.
All right. Man, yeah, that was good combo. That was good combo. Zyrax and Sugar Bum. I'm gonna need y'all to come up here. Next time I go live, next time I have a panel, I'm gonna need y'all to bring y'all ass up here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need y'all to talk a little shit. Cause y'all be in the chat room talking y'all shit. And it cool. Ain't no hard feelings, you know what I'm saying? It's just me being me. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But you know, I rather for y'all to come up here and talk a little shit with me. I ain't gonna run y'all. I ain't that type of nigga. It ain't nothing y'all can tell me that gonna hurt my motherfucking feelings. But anyway, I appreciate everybody that came through. Shouts out again to Kasim. Shouts out to Top Cat. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. If y'all like this, and hit the like button, share this, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna holler at y'all good people at another time. Holla at you.